What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Kind of Funny podcast. I am one of your hosts, Nick Scarpino, alongside the man, the myth, the legend, the downhill skier, the yin to my yang, Mr. Snowbike Mike.
Part of the Pink Pony Club.
I cannot wait.
I'd be dancing.
And rounding out the trio today is the Nitro Rifle himself, Mr. Andy Cortez.
So excited for this.
Tell him, Andy.
So excited for this.
I am not. The way Andy, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
Folks, we'll get to the spiel in a second.
Yeah.
Mike has been teasing these stories to me since Sunday.
Yeah.
You've heard them. Everyone else has heard them. Mike, I don't even think is that... Like, I'm worried that now they're going to have changed in Mike's brain. Like, he's going to have to amp them up.
I
And
don't
half
think
the
anybody
stuff's
else
gonna
has
be
heard
fake.
them.
Really?
Nobody heard him. Like Andy heard them.
I was
Andy
hot off the
heard
heels.
Okay,
the
you were hot off the
vibrant.
heels.
He got the picture.
I was
right?
the first person sort of witness
Yeah.
to the insanity.
Because you went to
along
Spices with him that night.
along
right?
with Kris Anka backing it all up, and Kris Anka giving us his blessing. Our good friend Kris Anka being like, "You can tell whatever story you want, Mike. It's hilarious."
I'm so very excited, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the Kind of Funny podcast where each and every week, 3, sometimes 4 best friends gather around this table, each hearing stories of each other's wonderful Outside Lands adventures. Mike, of course, invited me to Outside Lands to come, and I just gave a hard no on that one. But it did look fun, Mike.
You thought about it for a second.
I thought
mean,
about it
you
for
and
a
I have been
second.
on some adventures, and you know what? Today, when I tell you this story, there will be a moment very similar to our adventure at the Folsom Street Fair. And I'll tell you all about that because, like, there's ties to all of this. The Folsom Street Fair, about love, life, celebrating unity.
And leather daddies.
Dicks out.
Just a
A
bunch
lot
dicks.
of dicks.
A lot of dicks, ladies and gentlemen. And hey, if you like listening to us talk about all sorts of dicks, consider going over to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and supporting us over there. It's Patreon Pledge Month. We love you all. The guys that are watching live right now, you guys are all the OGs. We appreciate your support. You guys can be watching live too right now if you wanted to. But hey, you got no bucks to give. Just share this with someone or give us a listen and leave us a comment down on the video or send this podcast to your mom. And I'm sure she'll love the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of it. Shout out to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Nathan Lamoth, Alex J. Sandoval, James Hastings, and Casey Andrew. And today, we are brought to you by Monster Hunter Now. But we're going to talk about that right after I start hearing about Mike's. What do you call it? What do you, the Pink Party Club?
Pink Pony Club.
Pink
Pony
Pony
Club.
Club,
Okay.
We saw Chappell Roan, Nick. I don't know if you know about her,
Let's-
but she's taken over the world.
We got to go back for a second.
Rewind.
Because this, Andy, you know how sometimes in this office, I don't know what the heck's going on?
Well, only sometimes though.
Just a few times, right?
Yeah.
Mike starts talking about Chappell Roan. Kris starts talking about Chappell Roan. And they start talking about it like this person's been on this scene for years.
Yeah.
And I'm just out of the loop when it comes to this. And I'm in the loop.
No, we know.
He's
I
in
know
the loop.
Gaga. I know Lady Gaga.
Yeah,
Gaga.
I know that Katy Perry's trying to make a comeback. She's got a new album coming
Katy.
out. I'm a Billie Eilish fan through and through. I know T Swift. Although someone asked me at the panel, they were like, "What's your favorite Tay-Tay song?" And I was like, "I don't
you
know."
faker.
I was like, "I don't know what the hell that
Damn.
means." I was
You know
like,
about
"Who's
Brat
Tay-Tay?"
Summer?
I don't know what that means.
Charlie XCX.
Thought about guessing what the color of my underwear is?
Pink.
That's that new song. That song's hot, too.
Jesus
That's
God, I
a
don't know what you're
hot
talking about.
song.
So when they bring up Chappell Roan, first off, I was like, I have no idea how to spell this person's
I
name.
thought it was
Like,
Chappelle for
I thought it was
a
Chappelle.
week or two.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was Chaperone. Like that's you say it all.
Oh.
Where does her name come from? Is that just her real name?
No, that's not her name. No. She got a real name, but that's her stage name.
Wait, what does it mean?
I don't know.
It's also not spelled like a chapel, like a church chapel.
It's
Yeah.
Chapell.
It's CHAPPELL.
Yeah. Nice job, Andy.
Thank you. I'm a great speller.
He's a great speller,
Really good
is
speller.
right. She's been around the block, Nick. She has been around for quite some time, but just recently she has absolutely blown up to superstardom, where it's like everyone and their mother is going to see Chappell Roan. No matter where she's at on the world, you want to go and be there because
And
it's
that
the
was-
hottest concert ticket right
That
now.
was the Lollapalooza set that she had done?
Lollapalooza, you saw that. She performed out in
Right.
New York. She dressed up like the Statue of Liberty.
These were very important videos that we showed during our Wednesday meeting. And, like we're talking important business stuff last
Yes.
week,
Okay.
talking about scheduling,
Uh-huh.
talking about ours. You weren't here for this meeting. You were here over the phone. And then when the meeting ended, Tim was like, "Oh, Mike sent me some links," and Michael's like, "Yeah, bring these up on the screen."
Oh, shucks.
And I thought he was going to show off, I don't know, a concept of something or an idea, and he's like, this is Chappell Roan music
big she
video, or
is right now.
some live videos of her at Lollapalooza and all these
Did
other
you see the
concerts.
videos from Lollapalooza?
I mean, I've seen videos of her dressed in sort of like the wrestling outfit. She looks like a WWE person, which is what I thought she was at first. And then she started singing. I was like, I don't know, man.
Kevin,
This
I'm going to put a
WWE is
clip in
really-
assets. Let's just set the tone for Nick
Let's
to
set the tone.
understand.
I mean, I know now
what was going on.
I have
here.
since now looked up videos of her. I've listened to me and D as we were driving around. I was like, this is it. I got
the whole album's a banger. No
Listen
skips.
to No Skips. It's a no skip album, man. Did you know that?
I didn't know it was a no skip album.
Yeah, it's
No
skip.
skips. So this is Lollapalooza, of course, downtown Chicago, one of the bigger festivals of the summer here in North America. And you can see that she has broken attendance records at a 4 o'clock time slot, which is unheard of out there. Just a sea of people going crazy to Hot to Go,
What?
Red Wine Supernova.
That's wild. No disrespect.
yeah.
I've listened to her music now. It's good. It's poppy.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't immediately grab me as like this is the next Taylor Swift. What is the vibe? Why what am I missing here?
A lot of heart.
Am I just not listening to the lyrics?
Yeah,
is
you're
that
not
what it
listening
is?
to it.
The
Love.
heartbreak, the love,
You're not HOTT.
the sex in the passenger seat or whatever it was.
Eating me out in the passenger seat. Nick,
That
it's just a
doesn't even
lot. It's
rhyme.
just things, Nick, that you just don't get right now.
I
okay?
clearly don't.
And-
So Mike, as we
Once
let's
you
embark
open
on this
yourself
journey.
up to being in the Pink Pony Club, then you'll understand.
yeah.
I like to be in any club that will have me, honestly. So Mike,
You're in
woke-
our club.
I woke up from a nap
yeah.
Yep.
on Sunday, and about 15 minutes prior, I have a text message from Kris Anka and Mike.
Yeah.
Meet us at Spices.
Meet us.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm awake. Let's do
Let's
this.
do this thing.
Let's go get some. Let's get some dinner.
Sure.
And I got there, and Kris was really the only one who looked like he was at a concert, and Mike was just wearing
Nike
like
shorts.
a black Nike shirt
Yeah.
and Nike shorts.
Mhm.
And I expected some more pomp and circumstance. I thought that was going to be I thought he was going to be all dressed up. I thought they were going to be a lot more tired looking as well. They looked kind of fresh, but again, they watched like maybe 2.5 sets right at this.
Yeah. Pretty.
Outsidelands.
We only went for one set.
You just went for Chappell Roan.
Yeah, that's it.
You didn't
Yeah.
go to so you went to Outsidelands,
Uh-huh.
but you didn't go. You didn't get the 3-day ticket. You weren't there. at
Yeah,
like
we didn't
11
look like
a.m.
we had been run through.
Right.
On that, you know?
This
I
wasn't a
get it.
We're still
gigantic
up.
thing, but then Mike just starts to kind of give me the rundown of exactly what happened.
So, Nick, I'm pretty excited. Let's get into it. Let's just bring the energy and have some fun.
Let's go.
Okay, Chappell Roan has taken over my life and many other people's lives for the past couple of months here. And the announcement of her coming to Outsidelands excited me. I was like, man, do I try to find a way to go to Outsidelands? It's her, Sabrina Carpenter, Posty's going to put on a country concert that I know I don't want to listen to, but like he's Posty.
It's
I'll go
Posty,
check it
yeah,
out,
sure.
you know? Maybe he'll want to play Magic the Gathering with me. He likes that. You know what I mean? And so
What's that conversation like? You just scream until he goes, "Oh, this guy gets magic," and then he says, "Come backstage," and you guys play magic.
just
together?
Mike and Posty smoking doobies,
Yeah.
playing Magic the Gathering, talking about life.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? Maybe a tattoo happens. Maybe I get a neck tattoo with Posty.
you
never
can start
know.
with the neck tattoo.
Oh yeah, if you're with Posty, you start with a neck tattoo.
Interesting.
I feel like that's the next logical.
That's how
step.
you let him know
Could be
you're
like,
down.
So your guitar.
Yeah.
That's how the conversation. That's how the
And it's
whole-
on.
every
Yeah, yeah.
conversation with Simon Cardi. So England. Tell me
So
about
this
it.
channel.
The channel, England. Tell me
Yeah.
about England. Brexit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to go, and Kris Anka was like, Mike, here's the deal. I'm going to buy us tickets. So thank you, Kris Anka, for making this experience of a lifetime happen. Chris says, I'm going to buy us tickets. And I was like, Chris, that's a lot of money. He's like, I'm buying us VIP tickets because
gets you
we're not
VIP
standing out in
tickets.
the middle of nowhere, right? I was
Chris
like,
is not
all right,
like
Chris.
not a person that loves crowds.
No.
Actually, I'll go out on a limb and say not a person that likes people.
He doesn't like people. Chris Anka does not like being around people.
When I have
He
dinner
is-
with him, we had dinner with him the night prior. We tried to get him to go to what did we go see Borderlands, and he was like no, and he got up to the table, and left, never
Just
talked
left.
to me.
So
again.
Mike looked at Chris and said, "That's a lot of money you're going to spend on me.
Yeah.
In return, I'm going to buy an expensive jacket that I don't really like."
That's smart, Mike.
Well, Kris Anka heard me tell the story of Mike telling us on stream, yeah, I don't even like this jacket. There's a lot of things I don't like
Don't
about
even
it.
like it.
But it was a vintage one. It was $120. And Kris Anka said he doesn't like it. He made me walk through the rain and crowds of people to go back to get this
To the
jacket.
Chappell Roan.
Yeah. We'll talk about that at the end
I'd
of the
like to
story.
see
That's
this
an
jacket.
ending.
I'd like to see this jacket.
So the night before, me and Nick go to Borderlands and we see Kris Anka. Kris Anka, of course, is in town only to see Chappell Roan the following day at 4 o'clock. He flies out on another trip the next morning. So we're ready to send it. He texts me after Borderlands and says, Mike, what's the game plan? And said, all right, here's the goal. We're going to wake up in the morning. We're going to go out to Sweet Maple. We're going to have a nice breakfast brunch. Then we're going to go head over to the concert fairgrounds, which is in the middle of Golden Gate Park, and we'll set up and prepare for Chappell Roan at a 4 o'clock time thing. Of course, I can come up with the plan. Timing, I'm a little off on in life. You know what I mean? So I told him, let's meet at 9. We arrive at Sweet Maple at 10. It will take us an hour to get seated at Sweet Maple because it's one of the hottest spots in San Francisco.
It's a good spot.
Then, boom, we're eating by 11 to noon. We're done. We get in the taxi cab. That puts us between 1 to 2 o'clock area, arriving at the fairgrounds. Well, that didn't really happen. We arrived at 10 o'clock. We got immediately seated. We finished dinner. We finished breakfast by 10:30, and we were looking at each other like, oh, we got a lot of time to burn here.
This is like how a Warzone match goes.
That's exactly.
We're going to drop here. We're going to get this. We're going to loot up here. We're going to move here with the zone. And then a random team shows up, and it's like, oh, shit. It really threw a wrench in our plans.
Now we arrive at Sweet Maple, and I want everyone to know that I made a promise that I'm going to send it at Chappell Roan, and I mean send it. So what did I do? I bought myself a beautiful pink cowboy hat with sparkling diamonds all around the front of it. I have a pink sweatshirt on, because I'm out there ready to celebrate and have a good time, right? And so I am now standing outside of Sweet Maple dressed like this. Mind you, the first person I see, they have the
Chappell Roan fan.
They have the Midwest Princess camo hat on. So she also has a lot of camo in her stuff.
Sick.
It's either pink or you wear camo. So she looks at me, I look at her. We both know what we're doing later this afternoon. So that felt good, right? We get into breakfast.
What's the deal with this Sweet Maple place?
It's just really good, apparently.
You need to go. Yeah.
See, now, flash.
Does it remind you of the
back.
waffles we had with James and Elise and Kris Anka and Kevin A. Sex?
It's that kind of level. One step higher.
Ooh,
One step higher.
Whoa.
One step
It
higher.
is the place where every time I drive past it, no matter what, like if it's anytime between like 10 to 3 p.m. on a Saturday, there's
Always
just a
packed.
line around the block. It's packed.
Yeah.
Now, flash back to the night before, Kris was kind enough to extend that invite to me for brunch, and I said, absolutely not. I'm not waking up that early. And he goes, we're going to go out at 11. And I was like, exactly. I don't like to wake up that early. I'm not waking up to stand
I
in
get
line.
it.
Wait, did we all meet here like kind of as the pandemic was slowly ending?
Potentially.
Did we all eat here as a big group one time, Kevin?
No, I think that was Surisan, which is similar food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that was closer to like Pier 39.
Because I remember
look at
this
that
sort of
bake.
like,
Yeah,
here's all these
millionaire
different
bacon.
sorts of
That's that
bacons with different
millionaire's
flavors.
bacon right
yeah.
there. That's that millionaire's bacon.
Right.
And so as me and Kris sit down to enjoy a nice Sweet Maple breakfast brunch before Chappell Roan, you can tell Kris Anka doesn't like people because as we sit down, the table next to us and the table next to them start having a small conversation. Hey, what'd you get?
And they're not friends.
No, how long have you been in the city? What's going on? Then right before they get up, they look at me and they go, oh, that's some nice bacon. And I give her the rundown and say, well, this is the bacon sampler. One has citrus, one has rosemary, one is your millionaire's bacon. And Kris looks at me and goes, do you work here now? Because he doesn't want me talking to these people, you know?
Yeah.
And so you can start seeing the buildup of like, Kris doesn't want any other interactions. He already has enough of me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Kris had
He
me
does
for
what
2
we don't
hours.
have the bravery to do in public. We're just like, sometimes I want to be like, Mike, just shut the fuck up. Don't talk to every human being for
Shut
30
your
minutes.
pie hole.
And so people are next to us.
so
They're having conversations. And Kris is looking at me going, who goes to brunch and starts talking with other people? Like, what the fuck? And I go, you know, Kris, they lock eyes. They have to have a conversation.
Yeah, they look
Just
at
like
Mike.
if me and
Everyone's
Chappell Roan lock
excited.
eyes tonight, it's going down.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, whatever, Mike, let's go. So we stand up, we go. We now arrive at Golden Gate Park at about 11:30 to noon. We are 4 hours ahead of schedule.
Holy shit.
And we have a long time to burn.
But there's also other stuff
Now,
happening, right? You can go
mind
see
you,
other bands,
this is a
right?
festival. There's 3 other stages. There's a giant Golden Gate Park to walk around. They've taken over the polo fields and beyond in
Yeah.
the Hellsman Hollow.
Sick.
So there's it's a really cool venue. Like the idea of taking over Golden Gate Park and putting a music festival in the middle was really dope. But we, of course, as VIPs, have our own VIP section.
Mm-hmm.
So we walk out, we get into the VIP area.
Any cool celebs?
No cool celebs that I saw.
Do you think you were the most famous person in there?
I like to think so.
Wow, okay.
I like to
I
think
like
so.
that.
I was pretty, I mean, let's just say this. As I walked around, people looked at me and they said, nice hats. A lot of people said,
There it is.
nice hat.
Nice hat.
I want you to know how important this was to me as well.
Yeah.
I wore my glasses so I could see Chappell Roan.
Huge.
Not stare at the screen, not look at her and it be kind of fuzzy. I said, I'm going to wear my glasses because I'm going to see this girl sing her heart out.
Well,
brave
you know,
of you
when
to do
you
so.
spent that much of Kris Anka's money on the tickets,
Yeah.
you want to get your money's worth.
You want to get your money's worth.
You want to get it.
That's
And
a big risk you took, and I'm
Thank
really
you.
proud of you for digging deep and saying like,
Now-
I got to do this.
I got it.
in your brain, let me ask you
Yeah.
a couple questions.
Yeah.
Were you worried that if Chappell Roan looked over and saw you with the glasses, she would think you were a dork and not want to
Yeah, because here's the thing. When I first wore the hat, there was no glasses. A lot of chicks were like, nice hat, and they were giving me the look. Then when I put on the glasses, I went to the urinals, and a man looked at me when we were both holding our dicks, and he winked at me. And I was like, shit.
Welcome to San Francisco.
I've had conversations
The
at
thing
the
is,
urinals.
Mike told me that like he gave him a wink back. I was like, Mike, he wanted to fuck you.
Yeah, he
like
was
you
trying to
don't,
fuck.
And
you
I
don't-
winked at him.
You don't wink at somebody in a urinal.
Yeah.
It does. Okay, so first off, you shouldn't wink at someone at a urinal to start the conversation.
Well,
right?
that's what he did to me.
We also
and I
talked
winked
about
back.
how Nick
But-
will chat your ear off if
Yes,
you're next to him
yes.
at a urinal.
Yeah.
Like, if you and Nick are in line to wait for the restroom, there will be no conversation. But when you stand in front of the urinal, that's when the conversity begins.
Especially, oh my God, especially if I get that one that's made for me, the right size, the little tiny one. Oh, if I'm right there and you're by the other one, I'll stay there all day and chat it up with you. I love it at the movies too. I'm like, what'd you think? Is it good?
So I was like, Mike, if he stood next to you, he was like, how's your show, man? But that's one thing.
Yeah.
He's just a stranger trying to not be awkward in the urinal.
Yeah,
but the wink is like he wanted to fuck you.
He winked.
Oh, you
and
think
then-
so? It was
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
he was
Yeah,
trying to fuck.
okay. Well,
if he
hey,
winked
I
at you
appreciate
and you
that.
winked back at him, that non-verbal
Yeah, one of those.
conversation was, "Hey,
Yeah.
I want to fuck you," and you went, "Let's go, let's fuck."
I wanted to give
You
it
just
back.
led this
I
poor
wanted to
man
make
on.
sure he felt good because then he gave me the comment of nice hat. I said thank you. You know what I mean? So then I go back to
Nice
the VIP. Great
Shocks.
cocks. And so me and Kris Anka go back to the VIP. We're settling in, and we have a lot of time to burn. So I said, Chris, would you like to walk around the fairgrounds with me? And he wasn't really in the mood for that. He was very much of like, we're in the VIP section. It's very calm and chill at 11:30 in the morning. We got some gray clouds overhead.
little
Not
overcast.
raining. Just
A
a
little
nice,
overcasty.
calm, easy third day of the festival morning. So people are pretty pooped right now. Right?
When did it start getting misty?
Right at about 12:30 to 1.
Gotcha.
So I'll tell you the story because it will rain here in a little bit. I'll tell you all about it.
Okay.
So I begged Chris
that.
to say, Chris, I would like to walk around the festival grounds, please. Let's do this
Let
one
me
time.
have this.
And he was like, fine, Mike, let's do it. So we walked the whole polo fields. It's still early in the morning. People are waiting for Java Coffee by Monster. We walked to the marketplace, which, mind you, the marketplace is this big tented area that has nothing but merchandise for sale, but they also have different vendors from across the city. And that's where I found the thrift store girl. She had her whole thrift store. And what I saw up on the top, which drew me there, NASCAR jackets. And I thought, NASCAR, Posty, what if? So I walk up to him. I'm looking
What does
around.
that mean?
Well, it's like, you know,
translate.
Posty's known for like NASCAR, like vibes, right? He's
Yeah.
like, he's country. He's down to go to Talladega. You know what I mean? You might see him at the Indy 500
Okay.
singing. And I thought I should get a Posty Indy jacket. You know what I mean? Like it goes hand in hand.
He wanted
you
to be
wanted to
seen in
wear-
the post. So if Post Malone saw him, he'd be like, "We're down," and then Mike would go play Magic with him in the
Yeah.
backstage.
You wanted to wear the jacket for Posty.
So
Yeah,
Posty,
yeah,
for
yeah.
Posty.
Okay.
Well,
because
it
when
was
you
kind
say
of a vibe.
NASCAR, Posty, what if?
yeah.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
What
And
does
so
that
I
mean?
walk into her booth and I look up at the up on top, and what does she have? She has the 1996 Atlanta Olympics windbreaker
Of
for
course.
Team USA.
Yeah.
And I said, dang, I kind of want that.
You wore it on Monday, I believe, right?
Yeah, and Chris was like, take a look at it, Mike. Like, maybe we'll come back. And I was like, Chris, if we come back, I'll buy it. We'll see how I feel. So we walk around the grounds. Chris refuses to take a photo with me. You know, there's this beautiful
Why is Chris
outside land
the way Chris
with
is?
a giant.
Why is he the way he
There's
is?
this beautiful photo structure made.
Because I know why I'm the way I am,
Right?
and I know why you're the way you are.
It's
but
the
why is Chris
windmill
the way
and
he
it's
is?
the Outside Lands logo. And I say, Chris, let's take a photo together. And he was like, absolutely not, Mike. Fucking spit on my dreams there.
Yeah.
No, wait, you didn't get the windbreaker.
You didn't get
got
any
like
of
the
these.
pullover.
Yeah,
right?
no, there's
Oh,
a
it's a
bunch of different
pullover.
ones, I'm sure. It's a
Yeah,
pullover.
it's like a
You'll-
polo. I forget, like not an anorak.
I mean, I'm
back.
sure
What do
it's
they call
fake.
them? Parka.
Yeah, I'm sure
It
it's
looks
fake.
real.
It looks real.
Okay, well,
it
it looks
real.
It kind of looks real. Like you look close, you're like, oh, they spelled America wrong.
Yeah, it's
It looks like you'd either buy it for $6 or $120.
it smells like mothballs, so it's old.
They all
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Dry cleaned.
And so
There it
there
is.
it
The
is.
one right
That's
there.
the one
A
I got.
second
The
one.
second
The
one.
The second one, yeah, right there.
You came in and I was like, that looks cool.
That's fucking
That's
sick.
a cool
Oh, I
ass
loved
jacket.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't. Well, we'll talk about it. I'll tell you all.
I'll buy it from you. I love that jacket. That's sick.
So as we're taking a walk around the fairgrounds and we get to the photo op, there's this young girl and her mother setting up for photos, right? And they're taking some good photos. And Kris, very mindful, very demure. He says, "Stop right here. Don't get in her photos." I said, "Kris, that's very mindful,
Very mindful.
very cutesy,
Very demure.
But get
Very
this,
aware.
guy just walks right
Anorak,
through it.
thank you.
Didn't even see the situation. Just walks right through this poor cute girl's photos.
That sucks.
So we trashed that guy, but the mom waved at us. She saw us waiting, right? And so now we've made one full loop, and it's about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We have 4 hours to burn. And so me and Kris go back to the VIP section.
That's so long.
So there's no other bands that you want to just go listen to anecdotally?
No, Kris is there for only Chappell Roan.
See, this is where I should have gone. Because I would have. You don't have to wink at me. But
We
I'll wink
would-
back.
we would have
See, now,
taken a
now we
walk.
have to go have sex behind the urinal.
Jesus Christ. God.
That just seems like. I mean, actually, to be fair, I don't even want to talk shit about Kris.
Yeah.
Because you sent me a picture of you guys in the VIP lounge.
We were comfortable.
And honestly, it looked awesome.
So here's the deal with the VIP
They're
lounge.
just sitting down, having a cocktail. No one's around them. The stage is like right there. I'm like,
Yeah,
this
photo?
is fucking perfect.
We were close enough that it's Chris's photo. We were close enough that you could hear the music. They had
if I can find it,
televisions up where you could watch the main stage. And so like we didn't need to go anywhere. It was comfortable. It was easy, right? And so me and Kris gets a nice alcoholic beverage. He gets like the Golden Gate raspberry or something. I get myself a water. Then I buy myself a Coke. Then I bought myself an iced coffee because I was bored at this point. So I was just buying everything that I could. You know what I mean? I was bored. And so me and Kris,
How many of these beverages did you complete?
good story. People thought I was peeing on their legs when I dumped out the water in the crowd. We'll talk about that in a second.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
So
People thought I was.
we
peeing on
settle in,
You're
and
amazing,
me and
Mike.
Kris are in 2 chairs. There's a couch in front of us. So we have people coming in and out, right? There's a couple that shows up. We talk with them. They leave. We get a bunch of bartender workers.
cannot find
They
it, I'm
come
sorry.
in. They leave, right? And so we have a really, really good time of meeting and greeting. Kris didn't want to talk to people, but I was talking to him, right? Told a girl about our podcast. She
You
goes to
think she became a
USC.
fan?
She's majoring in video game development. She was a big fan of games.
Cool.
Told her all about that. You know, her friend was from Washington, D.C. I said, I'm going to COD next in D.C. Give me a good recommendation, you know? They were nice people. They had been there for 3 days, won the concert tickets on the radio.
Oh, wow. They're still doing that.
Yeah, so they were really excited to be there. They didn't want to pay for it, but they
Pay
wanted
dirt
to be
with
there.
pay dirt.
You know what I
You
mean?
got to assume the radio people just like, man, we got so many tickets. We have like
Whoever calls, we're giving this up. It's
Yeah.
like,
I won a set of tickets on the radio one time.
Really?
Yeah, for a jazz concert, and I didn't go.
oh.
I was like, I don't want to go. I just called in. I was
Sounds
like,
stupid.
there was one, I was like, why did I take these?
Why would you give this to
Okay,
me?
yeah, that was the. Did you see that? Sorry, can we pull that back up?
Those are just some VIP.
That's where they were
cabanas.
sitting. That's kind of where it
They
looked.
call those cabanas right there.
This looks really nice.
And so me and Kris are enjoying ourselves. And we proceed to have the conversation of, all right, Kris, it's 12 o'clock noon. We have eyes on the main stage so we can see when it starts to fill in. Because mind you, there's VIP, there's general admission. There's also another group called the Golden Gate Club, which is $2,500 a ticket to be like super, super VIP that I was going to sneak us into, but Kris didn't want me to like abuse
Ruin
it.
the
You know what I mean? I
experience,
was
yeah.
going to ruin it. But so general admission had been filling in since 11 o'clock in the morning. People were at the front waiting for Chappell Roan, slowly building. VIP was quiet. There's people in the front, but nothing too crazy that we didn't worry about. So I said, Kris, I'll sit here as long as you want. I'll be calm, easy, demure Mike.
You are.
Let's hang out. And he was like, all right. And I was like, you tell me when you want us to go. He goes, okay, deal. So we sit there till 1 o'clock. Now it's 2 o'clock.
Mike disappears. I'm backstage, Kris. I'm going on stage.
I'm looking at Kris.
I'm in
I'm
a
like,
NASCAR jacket. I'm playing Magic the Gathering.
are you ready? What do you want to do? He says, Mike, at 2:30, we'll go down there. We'll go for the starting act before Chappell, and then we'll set up. And I was like, fine, Kris, that sounds fine to me. So we go down there, setting the stage for you. The VIP area is quite large, very big. But the issue is Outsidelands in the morning doesn't really have a picnic blanket policy. They actually encourage you to lay down picnic blankets and just chill during the chill times. And so when we arrived at the VIP section, at this point, there was the gate, and there was probably about maybe 7 picnic blankets back at this point because people had just been lounging around chilling for the opening acts, and we respected it. I want you to know that I would never respect that, but for Kris, I respected it. Because in my world,
You don't want
you
to
take the
Godzilla
picnic
right through the
blankets.
picnic blankets?
You take the picnic blankets to the back.
Yeah, take 'em to
you
the
don't
back.
picnic blanket
What are
up
you
on the
doing?
gate.
What are you
Like I
doing?
get that you're sitting there for a while, but like we're not doing 20 picnic blankets deep at the gates, right? Like that's crazy stuff. And so
That's something for the lawn.
yeah,
Like when you would sometimes watch summer like Little League baseball and there's people just in the outfield on a little blanket. It's
Yeah.
like you got to get the fuck back there if you want to be on a
you
blanket.
you get in the back. You don't get to be up. You're not at
This is where the party's at.
Yeah, you're not at the wall. You're not going all the way. You're not doing that. And so we respected it. We watched a guy
There you go. Kev.
named
Yeah, zoom
Luke
in there one more
Coughlin
time.
or
There you go.
something. So it was country day on Sunday. It was heavily country themed artists on Sunday. So we watched a guy who was actually surprisingly pretty fun.
So you're in this
Talk-
pink section right here, right? This VIP section viewing.
We're in that purple section actually.
Oh, you're in the purple
Yeah,
section.
so this actually technically was flipped. The purple and the pink should look like almost like the yin and the yang of like 2 different sides there, right?
But you are that close to the stage.
We're that close.
Dang.
Like, as of right now, I'm maybe 150 feet away from the stage.
You're close enough if you're there to feel some sweat come off of like
Maybe.
Chappell Roan's forehead.
Yeah.
So as we start watching this final act before Chappell Roan, we have about an hour and a half. This guy's going to play for an hour, then we're going to have 30 minutes of downtime. You can start to feel people slowly come. And
You
it's
start to feel the
more and
energy. You
more,
gotta
there's
get
a
up, get
vibe
up.
of like, oh, it's starting to get packed, but we're still respecting the blankets. So we're like standing over this one family's blanket on the backside, just kind of peacefully waiting. There's a lot of open area all the way up to the front, probably 6 rows of people finally standing. And I look at Kris, I go, when do you want to? And he goes, Mike, we'll wait. Once he's done, then we're going to go past them.
Kick over
I
everybody
said,
sitting on
all
the
right,
blanket.
Chris, like that's fine. So while we're watching this guy,
I'd be eating that
Who's-
motherfucker's picnic basket.
a blast. This country artist was so much fun. He was dancing. He was talking about smoking cigarettes, being a degenerate gambler. I loved it, every moment of it, right? The guy goes, who's here for Chappell Roan? Now, me and Kris are in matching pink sweatshirts. I'm in a pink cowgirl hat. And this woman in front of us is probably 65 years old, clearly here for only the country acts, looks at us and goes, oh, really? And it's like, yeah, lady, we're here for fucking Chappell
What do you
Roan.
think?
headlining.
Look at
You
me.
know what
Come
I mean? Like, what do you think is
Yeah.
We're
happening?
not here for the podunk pony or whoever's on stage right now.
Exactly. And so out of nowhere, this old 65-year-old lady turns to us and goes, let's take a selfie.
Yeah.
We hadn't spoke to
This
her.
is where it starts.
Hadn't said a single word.
Here we go. Single and ready to mingle.
She made fun of us, if anything, about us going to see the Pink Pony Club Chappell Roan.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're in this lady's selfie just to start this off.
Let's find that one.
Did she someone to Kevin? Because she's someone to assets.
And so finally this guy ends, and here comes the push. Everybody starts moving forward, right? We're all pushing through. We're stepping on blankets. We're just making this big push. And I told Kris, I said, get comfortable. Wherever you want to end is where we'll go. Because if you're with me, you know, Andy, we're going to jump the gate. We're
You're
going to
going
do
right
something
top.
dumb, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I wanted to respect
going
Kris.
right
I said,
top.
wherever you want to be. And Kris was like, no, Mike, I'm going to fight my way up there. We're going to get up there. I said, okay, hell yeah,
Kris
Kris.
did
let's
say
do
that.
this.
So I was like, "Are you the guy?" I'm like, because we were looking at the sea in this Lollapalooza. I'm like,
Yeah.
"No way, I'm not, no way." And Kris is like, "Normally, I wouldn't do that for any other artist. Wouldn't do it." He goes, "But for Chappell Roan, I got to be front row."
We're getting
Front
in.
row.
Crazy.
And so we start to follow the mob forward. There's this lady with her 2 children. Now, mind you, this woman is probably the age of my mother, you know, 50s to 60s.
Little
range.
rickety, but still
she's
on her
got 2
feet.
daughters. That must be 21 plus because they got beer cans in their hands. One daughter just ripping doobies in the mother's
Nice.
face. I would
Yeah.
never rip a doobie in my mother's face. I
Well,
respect
they do
her
it
too
differently
much.
in
But
California.
she's ripping doobies
Yeah.
in front of her mom, right? Her mom and the 2 girls are now pushing through people to the point where they get settled in, probably 7 people back.
Whoa.
And these people walk up to her and go, hey, we're trying to get through. And she turns and she mama bears them. She goes, me and my daughters are not moving. We are not moving at all. Never seen that in the pile before. Never seen people say, no, this is our zone.
was there any room up in front of them?
I mean, only if you want to like get awkward and like
okay.
step in front of them. So
Yeah.
she did a good job of like, these
So they
are
were like, they wanted to crowd her up, and she was like, "No,
yeah,
we're
this
trying to
is
get
mama.
some-
No, they wanted to get in front of them.
Oh, you
And
can't
she's
be-
like, no,
no,
no.
you can't
You
be.
can crowd me up on the backside or on my sides, but you're not getting in front of my daughters. Is what
Why
she's
do I
saying.
picture both of the daughters on her shoulders? I don't know why. I keep on imagining they're just like
Just smoking a
these
doobie
little
on his
4-year-old infants just smoking doobies.
Now, chat.
Blowing a little heater.
Now, everyone that's listening to the podcast, I apologize for it starting slow, but this is when the fun begins.
Yeah.
And
It's a
we'll
good
get to
story.
the fun after a word from our sponsors.
Yep.
This episode is brought to you by Monster Hunter Now. There's never been a better time to jump in and play Monster Hunter Now. The game allows you to embark on a global quest in the real world to track down and hunt monsters from the Monster Hunter universe with your friends. For a limited time, earn a powerful Mr. Beast sword and shield, the perfect starter weapon for new hunters via the Mr. Beast quest line. Check this out.
Late for work. Then Monster Hunter. Now. Boring date. Then Monster Hunters. Now. Then. Now. Then. No. Then. No. Then.
Not now!
Then. Now. Monster Hunter Now. Hunt anywhere.
Download Monster Hunter Now by scanning this QR code or going to kindafunny.com/Monster Hunter Now. Again, go to kindafunny.com/Monster Hunter Now to get Monster Hunter Now.
All right.
Now let's start the fun.
So
okay?
now this is where I think I heard some grumblings of stories.
Yeah, this is where things get a little weird, okay? This is when we get the concert fun. I built it up for all of you, and now let's knock it down.
Okay.
So me and Kris are now 8 bodies back from the rail. We are that close to see Chappell Roan. And I don't know if you all have seen lately, but Morgan Wallen, the country artist, has had this tradition now lately at his concerts where he has a walkout. Similar to what you see with like boxers and MMA fighters, where they come out before the concert, they got the one shot in the back of him with some celebrities singing, and then he walks out and the crowds go crazy, right?
Okay.
They decide to do this to Miss Chappell Roan.
Miss Chappell
And
Roan.
out of nowhere, it becomes mayhem. We get a video up on the big screens of someone way on the other side of the lawn, 2 golf carts, 1 drag queen, and both of the mascots for Outsidelands dressed in full pink outfits for Chappell Roan.
Sick.
And they start playing Hot to Go. And the crowd starts to dance and get up, right? Like there's this fervor building
Oh,
of like,
yeah.
uh-oh, it's about to
Bunch
go
of
down.
pent-up energy.
They got a live band behind the drag queen, and they are walking the track of this polo field, jamming, dancing. The drag queen is out there directing traffic. The mascots are up on the side of the golf carts, jumping up and down. Like, there's something building here.
Is it drag queen like a band major?
I don't
Are
know.
they doing like
yeah, it was like that
composing
kind of
type
move.
shit?
I mean, they were doing the knees.
Do
They were on the ground. They were
got like
doing
a,
it all,
a little
right?
stick in their hand doing
It's
that
called the
stuff.
And, like,
baton. Thank
Oh,
you.
sorry. Sorry, band major.
I could feel
We call it,
something
if
inside
it's
of
longer,
me.
it's a mace.
Sorry.
Thank you.
It was about to go down, and so they got a countdown clock of 10 minutes. We're getting to 7 minutes. We're getting to 5 minutes. The fun is about to kick off as we see these people get closer and closer to the stage. And at this time, someone unleashed the pink beach balls, and they're jamming. You know, we're having fun, and I'm like, oh shit, I want to hit the pink beach
Yeah, I know.
ball.
I know
So
you
of
do.
course, here comes the pink beach ball. It's coming right at my face, and what do? I fucking bang, spike that thing into the sky, right?
Yeah.
And I look down to my left, and what is it? This beautiful, maybe 5'2" girl. She's got a jean jacket on.
Yeah.
She's got a hat that looks like the marble red cigarette hat.
Yeah. Smoking
And I'm like, what up? And she goes, oh, you should have let me.
You want to hit the ball?
You should have let me hit that. She's so wasted. She's got that raspy
Oh,
voice
yeah.
to her. And I'm like,
Been drinking,
hey,
smoking, talking all day.
This is
I'm
day
like,
3.
Hell
This is day 3
yeah.
for
What
her.
up, girl? And she looks at me. She goes, oh, man, you having a good time? And I'm like, miss, I'm having the best time.
Mike
right?
Wazowski.
And so she's looking at me. I'm looking at her. We're making eye contact, having fun. And she goes, how old do you think I am? And like, I mean, she's a little bit of an older lady, but like, I'm like, miss, you're probably 28. She's like, I'm 42. And I said, damn, girl, you looking good, right? Now all of a sudden, we dancing. I'm dancing. I go, I'm Mike. She goes, I'm Ash. What's your name? I said, I'm Snowbike Mike. Stunned her for a second. Stunned her.
Just hit her with the parry.
Yeah. Okay.
She looked at me like, you know, because we're vibing. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
still
yeah.
like Mike, and she's like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, get closer to me. I'm Mike, and now we're dancing.
Closer to me, I'm Mike. Aaron
We're dancing, right? Me and this 42-year-old, just babe. We're dancing, having a good time. She's like, we got to push these people, get up there. And I'm like, no, we don't got to push nobody. We can just have a good time. And she's like throwing the elbow signs, right? And I'm like, we don't need that, right? Now we got like 3 minutes left until the concert. The energy
hasn't even started yet.
No. I thought we were halfway through this. No. We're still in the build.
I thought we were in the intermission of her set.
Oh my God, what's happening?
And we're dancing, right? We're all dancing. Now she gets closer to me. She starts touching me. She's touching my back, touching my ears, touching my head. And I'm like, okay, lady, like, what the fuck
Getting
is
handsy.
happening, right?
Getting handsy.
She's
Whatever.
getting handsy. I'm
You're
like,
into it?
yeah, I'm into this, right? Kris Anka is dead in front of me. It looks like this. I get up and I get next to Kris Anka's ear and I go, if this 42-year-old woman keeps touching me, Kris, I'm going to make out with her. And Kris just shakes his head, right? Now it's
Kris
2
is
minutes
very-
left and we dancing, me and Ash. I'm like, yeah, this is a great time, right?
Only minutes passed by. It's the last thing.
1 minute.
It's mayhem, right? Now, in the 2 minute window, Ash has stopped looking at me and can only look at Kris Anka. She's made eye contact with Kris
likes the
Anka,
mustache.
and she wants to touch him. And I mean, she's touching all over Kris, and he is not moving. He's like, okay, that's good. She's touching his ears. She's touching his head. She's touching him. Mind you, we just set up that Kris doesn't want to talk to people. He doesn't want to be touched by people.
He surely doesn't want to touch people.
We
Yeah.
got 60
Touching's not
seconds
off limits.
left, and as I'm watching Ash just get a hold of Kris, all I can think of is, oh my God, Kris Anka's big concert's gonna be ruined by this woman. I have to do something. Like, I cannot let this happen, right? And so, to Kris Anka's right now has appeared this nice blonde girl, maybe 26, just moved here from Michigan. We've introduced ourselves to
know
her.
the
Her
whole
name
story,
is
yeah.
her name is Taylor. I gave her the mitten. If someone says, "Hey, I'm from Michigan," you give them the mitten, they'll point to you where they're from, right? And so I got her with that. She started laughing. She goes, "You even know where that is?" I go, "I don't know where the mitten is. Don't worry about
just
it."
showed her the
I just
mitten?
gave her the mitten, right? So now
I don't even know what the fuck the mitten is.
we're friends with
What Michigan
Taylor.
looks like.
Yeah, that's what Michigan looks like.
You go
But
like,
like,
it looks like this.
When you give them the mitten, where did you learn this from?
From kids from Michigan.
You know, a
This is
lot
how
of
they
kids
identify
you know a lot
where
of
they're
people
from.
Michigan?
Yeah, in the UP. That's Upper Peninsula. You'll learn. We'll teach y'all that. We'll teach
I
y'all
won't learn. I don't want
I
to.
gotta live there.
that. So now we're becoming friends with Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lovely lady. She's moved to San Francisco. She's enjoying the West Coast vibes. She's with us now.
see
She's
a
seeing
palm.
Kris Anka get a couple of handfuls, right?
Oh, I see the palm. I see it. The mitten. I see it. It's in the negative
It's like
space.
an
It's a
oven
mitten.
mitt kinda,
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
mitten. It's a
I
mitten.
get it.
And
That's
so
cool.
as Kris Anka now is just, it's only Ash wants to look at. Ash just wants to look.
So I'm
at
just
Kris
gonna
Anka.
can I like level an assumption at our different Ash?
Yeah.
Was Ash maybe was she on some pharmaceutical medication that
There may have
made
been
her
something in
want
her
to,
system, it sounds like.
I think Ash was having a really great festival at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Okay, so the Molly kicked in right around 3.
Yeah, I mean, she had the jean jacket that said Pink Pony Club. She
Was
was
Ash by
killing
herself?
It, right? Well, we're
You're
going
about to learn.
Ash was with somebody, okay?
You're about to learn.
And so now Ash whispers to Kris Anka, she goes, "Are you two together? Because we're both in pink."
Yeah.
And Kris is like, "No, he's just, no."
She's
and
like,
then
are you his boyfriend?
now
is what's
Taylor
yeah.
on the other
You know.
side, it's her turn. She says, "Are you two boyfriends?" Because she can't hear what Ash says.
Right.
And I look over at Taylor and I go, "We're best friends." And in that exact moment, Kris Anka puts his hand up and goes, "I wouldn't go that far." And I go, "We're homies. We're homies.
Why is he so catty?
We're homies.
He's so catty.
We're so homies. We're best friends, Kris. Don't worry about it. We're best friends." So Taylor's laughing. Ash is still touching Kris Anka. It is now counting down the seconds, right? Boom. It hits 0 seconds. And Kevin, I sent you a 2-minute long video. We'll cut in between there, but if you want to just bring it up and hold for a second, she always opens with
Probably
Phenomenon.
no audio,
Okay.
right?
And so
probably fine.
well, we want to play a couple of the parts because
It's a minute and 40 seconds, right?
she yells, "Can you play the fucking beat?" And this place erupted. I mean, we're dancing, we're jumping. Song number 1 is on. That's the no, we don't want that one. We want one from my phone. You'll see. We're dancing.
Yeah, you're gonna be way closer.
Now
right?
Ash has proceeded to move the Kris Anka touching from the head, the shoulders,
Oh no, now it's in his
to his
buttocks.
bottom.
Yeah, it's his buttocks.
Becoming
She is
inappropriate.
so deep in his ass
grundle, yeah.
that I had to put my hand so deep in his ass,
Yeah.
Nick Scarpino. She's getting it right.
Remember, consent is important. Everyone. We're not trying to make light of this.
I had to
Just
put
go
my
with it.
hand on her arm, and I said, "No, Ash, don't do that. You can touch me instead." Okay? Because I was like, "Oh shit, Chris is
You're gonna ruin his.
You're gonna
Yes.
ruin
Yeah.
his time."
And Ash, I want this.
And Ash,
Yeah.
you can touch me instead.
It's the opposite vibe for me.
We can dance. We can dance.
Yeah,
right? We
I
dancing.
need it. I'll take
And
either
so
of these.
we got to stop her, and now we're dancing. We're fucking pumping up, right? She moves on to Naked in Manhattan, which is all about kissing me, and like we're dancing. Ash and I, we're locking eyes. We're doing a couple of these shoulder shimmies. You know what I mean? We're dancing our lives away, right? And so now, as we
This
get
2.5 minutes into the concert.
as
dropped
we
the beat.
get into starting Hot to Go, which is where Chappell Roan teaches us how to dance. So this was the intro walkout video. I don't
Let's see
know
this. Can we play
if this is a photo or a video that you have.
This is a
Photo.
photo you sent me.
Yeah, yeah.
JPEG.
So now Miss Chappell Roan has moved to Hot to Go, which is where she teaches everyone how to do the Hot to Go dance.
Okay.
HOTTOGO. You can take me hot to go. Right?
Catchy.
Very good, Tom.
HOTTOGO. You can take me
Like
hot
Macarena.
to go. And
Okay.
you start body start
roll that
body
body.
rolling, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so now as the whole crowd is learning the dance.
Hard to body roll when you got a hand up your gooch.
Yeah.
Now, as
Smell
the
like a
whole
popsicle.
crowd is learning to dance, which you can see right now, right? Everybody's about to start sticking up their hands and dancing. She hits the beat, and out of nowhere, 3 feet to our left, Ash has stopped looking at Kris Anka, and her eyes have turned to an older couple, a man and a woman, probably 60 to 70 years old, in the pit.
Ash trying to touch
And
everybody.
Ash has decided to start touching this man's wife.
Good.
And all of a sudden, all you hear is this man turn and go, "What the fuck? Don't touch my wife." And boom,
vibe.
there
Get
was
serious.
a beautiful blonde woman, 6'5", standing next to me, whose name was Ashley, because she was Ash's partner. And Ashley decided to wake up and mama bear. And she proceeded to grab this older gentleman by the throat like this and say, "Don't you dare touch my wife like that." And now we're in a shouting match. Ashley's
This
got
is
him by the
Ash's
throat.
partner,
Did
Ash's
you
wife,
record
Ash's. Yeah.
Yeah, and no, I did not record it. And so Ashley has got the old man by the throat screaming, "Don't touch my wife." He's in a panic yelling, "Well, don't touch my wife." And Ashley's in the middle doing this, smiling, touching
having
people.
fun.
Yeah,
She's
She's having
having
a
the
great
blast. And this woman is 6'5". She would snap this old man in half type stuff. Out of nowhere behind me now, we have a girl in a full-on Playboy bunny outfit. I mean, you might as well be in lingerie.
Perfect.
She jumps up and gets in between Ashley and the old man and cries, "Please, no, it's Chappell Roan. Don't do this."
Yeah.
Ashley's choking the old man out. The Playboy
Just
bunny
collar
girl's in the
choking his
middle with
ass.
her arms up like, "Please don't do this." And I'm dancing. HOTTO.
Like, someone touch me.
They're all fighting, and Mike just wedges himself in the middle of it.
I'm
He's
having
like,
the
"Come on,
time
somebody just
of
rub my gooch.
goddamn life.
Somebody put their
right?
hand on my chonch.
So now we've separated Ash and the older couple along with Ashley. For the next 40 minutes of this concert, Ash now knows that she's done something wrong and her high is worn off.
She's got the little, like, the pet that, you know, maybe bit the fucking paper towel and the owner, you know, like, I'm assuming she's giving you, like, the side eye, Mike.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
oh, you're
down,
fucked
but
up.
you shit in the lawn.
And Ash has got Ashley by the back of the neck like a small dog like this.
Yeah.
And Ash is just doing this. Just wobbling. Because all of her energy's gone.
It's wearing off.
She's just wobbling.
Yeah.
But every now and then she'll look over at the older couple just to let them know, like, she'll still fucking
She's still
tussle.
fuck. Let's go.
She wants to tussle.
Let's
and
fucking go.
Ashley's whispering in her ear, "Don't do this, Ash. You've done this before. You're ruining the vibes."
Uh-oh.
The vibes are so wrong near us, Nick, that there's a 5-foot circle of emptiness. And then we're 7 rows away from Chappell Roan. It's mayhem. There's a 5-foot ring around us
Fiasco.
of don't go near these people.
It's a
They're
fiasco.
bad vibes.
Yeah, yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Ash and Ashley are doing this. Mike is singing Hot to Go, dancing his life away. Kris Anka's trying not to look at Ash so she wouldn't touch him.
About 4 minutes into the concert.
And I'm having so much fun, right? I'm thinking, man, I'm going to go home with Ash and Ashley. It's going to get weird tonight. You know what I mean? I'm down to get pegged. It's going to get wild.
Yes. Oh, if you got pegged this weekend, that would be the title of this video.
I'm willing to let 6'5" mommy Ashley take care of me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that.
Mike was so insistent on telling Kris, like, Kris, I was gonna go be the third. Like, I was so bummed out that she ruined the vibes because I was gonna be the third.
It was about to go down. Like, there I was setting up the triangle offense, and I was passing the ball, and I was dancing, moving it right.
Fucking
the
Ash
vibes
had to
were
be
right,
touching.
but Ash had to touch this old man and woman. It was messed up, right? And so now we have a spectacular
That's so cool.
45 minutes. I mean, if you get the opportunity to go see Chappell Roan right now, you go see her because she has an album with no skips. She's going to play all of your favorite songs. She played a new song for us. We got to My Kink Is Your Karma, which is one of my favorite. I love that. I love Pink Pony Club to end it. And so now we end. The mass exodus, because no one's going to stick around to go see our boy Posty do a country concert. It's just a mass exodus. So we start leaving, but my mind is still on the prize.
Yeah. You're still
being
thinking
that third wheel.
You're still trying to think
fucking,
about how girthy one can you take.
I'm getting in this. And so I look at Kris Anka, I say, I'll be right back. So I run over to go find Ash and Ashley, right? I'm trying to sweet talk these two to turn their vibe around.
Yeah.
But Ash is in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, the little dog barked a little too loud. And Mama Pup ain't happy
She could
about
be in the
it.
doghouse.
She's definitely going to have they're going to have a sober conversation
As we
tomorrow.
were at Spices, Mike was like, right now she's getting a stern talking to of like, you always fuck this up.
Yeah.
This is
You
like
always
this could be the impetus of a breakup.
Yeah,
You know?
like
It's
this is
one
the
of those.
fourth
Sounds like
time
it's-
that we've
yeah.
gone somewhere and you get out of hand and
Yeah.
you like cause me to
can't
like
take
cause
that
a
much
ruckus.
Molly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ash, you're so hot. And so I look at Kris and say,
In my brain,
in my brain, fuck, lady, let's
this
go.
poor woman is a Marlboro wearing Edna from Monsters Inc. or whatever.
exactly.
That's what she sounded like.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike
Yeah.
Wazowski.
I was like, this lady's
Edna,
partying for
I feel
3
it.
days straight. She's just feeling it.
Just ripping
I
it.
just picture like the conversation sounding like this. Oh, you're so fucking hot right now. No, you are, Mike. You're so fucking hot right now.
Poor Kris is stuck in the middle of a stereo Snowbike Mike situation.
Oh, Jesus. And so I went back over to Ash and Ashley. I gave some hugs. I gave some love. Now, mind you, I want you to know that Ash has woke up the next morning off of a bad day, and she's got videos of me on her phone. Because throughout the concert, Ash would turn to me and start videotaping me and her wife as I'm singing, dancing. And I lock eyes with Ash. I'm like, oh, shit, I don't know what to do. And so what do, Nick? I start blowing kisses at her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you do.
I'm just blowing kisses at the camera, dancing, smiling. This happened 4 different times.
Killed me.
So,
Mike goes, Eddie, there's so much footage of me on her phone and me going, because I don't know what to do.
I mean, this lady
It's an awkward place to put someone.
This lady is singing The Subway, one of her new songs, all about like a bad breakup and being left alone and like losing your one on the subway. And I'm like, I'm mid tears, and this woman is now camera deep on me, and I go, well, what? Blow kisses, blow some kisses, right? Blow some kisses.
You're the best.
He's like, I got no other move.
I got no other.
What am I supposed to do, you know?
God, you're the best.
So now as we're making our mass exodus out, and I know that I won't be part of the thruple tonight, which
Yeah,
is
it's
unfortunate.
unfortunate.
I looked at Kris and said,
Really sad.
all right, well, what do you want to do? And Kris was like, we leave. And I said, well, Kris, what if we go back and buy that bad $100.20 sweatshirt that I need?
The jacket. Yeah.
And like, he was like, you're really going to make me walk through all of this right now, Mike, to go get that jacket? And I go, oh, what else are we going to do?
Yeah.
So we take a walk. I asked the girl to pull it down. Kris Anka, looking at his phone, doesn't want anything to do with this. I go, does it look good? He goes, only if you like it, Mike. She says, there's a mirror right there. I said, no, here's my card. Have the girl swipe it. 2 seconds later, I look at it in the mirror, go, I don't like this.
Why don't you just take it back?
We proceeded to walk out with the sweater.
All sales final.
I'll buy it off you. I love
And so
that thing.
another one is a lot of people
think
ask,
it's
well,
sick.
why don't you have the hat here for the podcast? I made a rule that I'm going to bring in the pink hat, but I'm not bringing it out. It's not coming out with me. I'm not bringing stuff with me. And so what did I do?
Podcast?
I left it at
Go to the
the
concert.
thrift
Oh,
store.
you brought it there, but
Yeah.
you're like, I don't want to.
I'm not bringing that out with me. It's a concert-only item.
He was like, I want to commemorate this moment by showing everybody that like I'm going in dressed a certain way,
Right.
but I'm leaving it out on the.
I'm leaving it on the
field,
court.
yeah.
Leaving it
Okay,
on the
that
court.
makes sense.
And so when we got to the thrift shop, what did I do? I took the hat off, put it right on the shelves. She could make a little extra $10 off of that thanks to me.
Wow.
And that was
You
me
know?
at Chappell Roan.
That's every bit as good as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, I hope that I nailed it for you, Nick. It was a
did.
great time.
I do. You know, this is going to sound. This is going to sound the way it's going to sound, but I think
Yeah.
you need to hear it. I love that every single one of your stories ends with you not getting laid.
That's tough.
Every single one of your stories.
Because we know like 3 others.
I
that we don't
had
wanna
so
tell.
many.
I had it. I was dialed in. I was dialed up. I had this moment. And Ash just decided she wanted to start touching Kris Anka. And I was like, that's fine. You know, I guess. And then she touched the wrong couple.
That's wrong. What are you going to do? It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
You can touch me.
Now, okay, can I ask? What happened to the other, like the 22-year-old blonde that was to the right that was from Michigan?
Oh, she was a lesbian.
Oh, okay. So she
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
into
I
you
mean,
at all.
it was very big LGBTQ community there.
Okay.
We were all celebrating. And that's why they thought me and Kris were gay, because 2 dudes, you know,
wearing
very,
all pink
at Chappell
very
Roan.
handsome
Winking at
dudes.
each other at the
You know
urinals.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
thought, oh, this is a gay couple. You know what I mean? I think that's what got Ash at first, was like 2 bros, mustaches, all pink.
They're into it.
Me and my wife, 2 guys, what's up? You know what I mean?
Now,
Yeah.
I wonder how much that.
We're best friends. I wouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't go that far. Because it just seems like at this point, not only does Kris not want to be misconstrued as someone you were dating,
Yeah.
but he also, I don't even think wants to be seen with you or like have people know that you guys know each other.
Well, we had a great time together.
Yeah.
I mean, so he can't take that away from me. He can't take it away.
Unbelievable. That's a great story. Man.
And we had a
Thank
great
you.
meal afterwards.
We had great spices. I thought about Ash and Ashley. Ash and Ashley, if you look at those videotapes later and you think of me, call me.
All night. Yeah, you thought about them all night.
Yeah, I left thinking about him because I was there.
Yeah. There was a moment where you could have turned the tide of war in your favor.
Dwayne Wade alley-ooped me, and I was about to slam dunk
Yeah.
this thing down,
Yeah.
and just missed it. Just missed it.
That's a
Or
super big
no,
bummer.
like you were the hoop and the ball was the strap on you're about to get pegged with.
I was willing to get in the middle of it. You
Yeah,
know what
I
mean?
know.
Like, you got to, when you look at it, you got to see the scene, and you got to say, I'd be willing to do that.
Yeah,
You know what I
But
mean?
like, there's
And
an
Snow Mike
alternate
Mike would be
reality
willing.
where like y'all hang out afterward, and you go like, "So when's the pegging gonna happen?" And they go, "That's not on the table. We don't want to peg you."
Yeah. Well, it's just
You're
like,
the one that brought that into this. They
just
don't
in
want
case-
that.
Just in case Ashley looked at me and was like, I'm into pegging, I would be like, Ashley, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Hey,
For
you know
just
what?
one night, I'm okay
I
with
mean,
that.
don't say just one. You don't know. Maybe you like it. Maybe it's fun. Maybe it's fun to have your prostate tickled a little bit.
You got to be willing to step up for the opportunity.
I know.
really
Yeah, I know.
Thank
I
you.
know.
Huh. All right. Guys,
That's
this
a
is-
Chappell Roan story.
This is a good one. I don't think we need to go any farther past this.
That's it. That's all I got. That's all I
Ladies
got.
and gentlemen, that's going to be your podcast for today. Let us know if you were at that Chappell Roan concert and if you have any video footage of Mike blowing kisses into your phone. Because I would love to see that. And I hope that video surfaces one of these days. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you liked this and you like what you saw and you want to support us, you can head over to Patreon to do just that. Shout out to all of you who are laughing your asses off right now in the live chat, like Langley, M, Neely, and Jenny, and Enigmatic. I see you all in there for the story. It was every bit, Mike, it was every bit worth the wait, and I appreciate you.
I love being with you guys.
Doing
You know that.
I wanna go to the next
What I
one.
forgot to tell you, Nick, was just so you know, back when we went to the Folsom Street Fair, right? And we went to that rave where they forced everyone to wear underwear. If you remember, you weren't allowed to go into the rave naked.
Yep.
So we had to make sure we had our underwear on.
Good.
There were those
I actually
two.
don't remember that story.
Yeah, well,
I
there
there
was
for
those
that?
2 dancers with the slinky.
Oh, the slinky
passing
dancers.
it back and
Yeah,
forth, and
yeah.
we got involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like with me and Ash. Like the slinky was getting passed back and forth.
So it was almost there. The energy was there. It just wasn't quite right. And that is a bummer. But there is always another Outside Lands festival. Ladies and gentlemen, we love you. We'll see you next week. Bye.